Conservative campaign HQ is taking on more people. Downing Street has started taking a keen interest in local by-elections. They are definitely thinking about a general election again. One backbench source: Brenda, if you're reading this, look away now. At Westminster, rumours of a snap poll are swirling once again. Philip Hammonds' £100 billion giveaway budget on Monday provoked accusations from Labour that the government is softening up the electorate for a fresh poll. But it is not only the opposition that is showing symptoms of election fever. Tory critics of the Prime Minister suspect she is plotting a poll to regain the majority she lost so disastrously in June last year. One backbench source told me, Conservative campaign HQ is taking on more people. Downing Street has started taking a keen interest in local by-elections. They are definitely thinking about a general election again. Mrs May ruled out a snap election a day after the budget, insisting that going to the country would not be in the national interest. Her Tory foes point out that she repeatedly made similar denials before springing last year's ballot. May is convinced she is in for the long term, the backbench source added. She wants to trigger a Brexit election to get back her majority and rebuild her authority so she can sack Hammond and the rest of the cabinet, deadwood and pack it with her allies. Prime Minister Theresa May has confirmed there won't be an early general election. Image, PA. Scenarios being speculated include the Prime Minister calling a general election after successfully navigating the country out of the European Union in March, or sooner if her expected Brexit deal is rejected by MPs. Another Tory insider said, ministers are getting very twitchy about the country being legally bound into a treaty which is impossible to get out of. They've all got half an eye on the leadership themselves and don't want their hands tied if they get to number 10. Under the Fixed-Term Parliament Act, the Prime Minister would need the backing of two-thirds of MPs to trigger a general election. She might struggle to find enthusiasm for the move among her own party. The Tory source said, an election at the moment would be a massive risk. A lot of Tory MPs would be very nervous about the idea. As we saw last year, no Prime Minister can dictate what the election is about. There could be a real risk of a Jeremy Corbyn government, which would be catastrophic. Other Tories point out that the party's election machine still needs rejuvenating after last year's ill-fated campaign. Tory activists are understood to have a marked lack of enthusiasm for a return to a door-knocking offensive. No election strategist has been recruited to play the leadership role carried out by the Australian polling expert Sir Linton Crosby in the 2015 campaign, the last time the party won a Commons majority. The Tory source added, there is no election team in place. Mrs May's allies deny a general election is being plotted. Any signs of campaign preparation are in readiness for the coming round of town hall polls next spring, they insist. Chancellor Philip Hammond announced the autumn budget on Monday. Image, Getty. One friend of Mrs May said, an election is just not on the cards. The Prime Minister is fully focused on Brexit, yet the threat of a general election has always been the ultimate weapon for a Prime Minister facing parliamentary deadlock. The other alternative to try to end the Commons' stalemate over Brexit, a second referendum, would take months. It would mean delaying Brexit and, whatever the result, would not change the parliamentary arithmetic. For all the risks, a general election could end up being Mrs May's only option. Brenda from Bristol, you have been warned.